Hello, Dr. Vikki Petersen here. We had a recent, our annual Gluten Sensitivity and Celiac Forum we just held recently last weekend, and a question came up that I wanted to address in a video, and that was, I was talking about having cravings for types of food that aren't very good for you, and the fact that that tended to offset the balance of the good bacteria and bad bacteria in the small intestine. So I wanted to expand upon that a little bit more. First of all, cravings tend to come from the fact that your cells are not well nourished. So from your cell's perspective, food might be going in your mouth, but if those cells are not being well fed, they're going to kind of tell you, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. And for us, that sort of comes through as a craving of, and because they're very hungry, they want something that's going to get into the system very quickly, and unfortunately, that's where the sugars and the caffeines and the things that go into the bloodstream very quickly come into play. So that's where those cravings come from. I also sometimes call it the sugar monkey, the little monkey on your shoulder saying, sugar, sugar, feed me, feed me. So that's where that comes from. When cells are very well nourished after a meal, then that's when you feel satisfied, you don't think about food, and there are no cravings. So that's one point. In addition, we have in our small intestine, which is where 80% of our immune system is housed, we have hundreds of trillions of good organisms, at least we should have that number, and those good organisms or probiotics give the strength to our immune system. They also help in keeping diseases turned off. Literally, those good bacteria are able to alter genetic expression, whether you can think about as sort of an on switch and off switch. When the good bacteria are healthy, they'll keep a gene that's predisposed to giving you a disease, such as celiac disease or any autoimmune disease. They'll keep it in the off position, meaning you won't express the disease. But as soon as those probiotics get into a weakened state and they're not as strong or robust, then that switch flips on, they're not able to keep it off anymore, and now you do manifest a disease. So the other thing I was mentioning about sweets and foods that aren't very nourishing is they tend to feed the bad bacteria. So you have this balance of the good bacteria and the bad, and obviously you want a lot of very good, strong, robust bacteria and not very many bad. But as you eat the wrong foods, very refined foods, high fructose corn sweeteners, sugar, that feeds those bad bacteria. So they get stronger and stronger, and they can start crowding out the good guys. So it's kind of double jeopardy with these bad foods. They not only weaken your immune system and make you really more inclined to get disease, but they also have that other facet that we just discussed about all the cravings. So it's very easy to say don't eat sugar and don't eat bad food, and it's all but impossible if you have cravings. So the best way to go about it is to realize those cravings are coming from lack of nourishment and try to steer your diet certainly away from any food sensitivities you may have, whether it's gluten or dairy, and also toward a very high plant-based diet where you're getting a lot of good organic fruits and especially a lot of dark green leafy vegetables that are very nourishing for your cells. Good fats, fish oil, avocados, nuts and seeds if you do fine with nuts, a little bit of lean, clean protein, animal protein if you do fine with that, but really getting that into your system. Now, of course, there's the caveat of you're not absorbing it, you're not digesting it, and that's where I can come in handy and definitely let me know if you're in that position, because that's what we're here for, and that's why we treat people from all over the world is you know, this kind of advice only goes so far, and then sometimes you really need personalized detection of what's really happening in your system. So we're here for that as well. But on a general level, I just wanted to kind of clarify that point so at least you understand what it means when you're craving. It means that what you're doing is really not working, whether it's because of a poor diet or there's some disconnect between the food going in your mouth and actually getting delivered to your cells. And that certainly can come from a lot of issues with the intestine, with the liver. So we could kind of go on and on about that. I don't want to get too technical, but I did want to clear up that particular point. And if you're having trouble in this area, please do let me know. and we can see what we can do to assist you. So I hope that was informative, and until next time, I wish you very good health.